Hi, I'm here to help you become an awesome diver. In getting this right, not only will you be the envy of all your mates, save some money, but you'll be the best diver on the dive site. Hi, I'm Andy the Northern Diver, and in this episode I'm going to be sharing with you 5 top tips to make you one awesome diver. Welcome to another video in this series of scuba diving tutorials. If this is your first time here and you want to be the best diver on the dive site, click subscribe, and while you're there, click the bell icon. That way you'll get notified every time we post a new video, and stick around to the end so you don't miss all the tips. Tip number 1, plan your dive and then go and dive that plan. Do some research. First of all, I'd get interested in a particular dive site. We'd look at different magazine publications that we get. So Dive Travel Adventures, this is about different dive trips around the world. Scuba Diver magazine is written by scuba divers about scuba diving all around the world. And then Scuba magazine, part of BSAC's sort of membership package. This is again dives around the world and in the UK. A bit of an insight to the different dive sites that we as scuba divers can go on. How can we then find more information about it? These sort of dive guidebooks. You know, if you look specifically at this one about Malta, there's quite clear drawings and depths and sort of areas that could be of interest to you as a diver. You also see the different pictures of the entry and exits. There's quite a good write-up about what you can find, where you can park, you know, where you can get your gas supplies and food, and what you can find on that dive site. So a specific guidebook to the area that you're going diving, that's going to help you plan that dive. And once you've planned that dive, you need to go and dive it. Number 2, in planning your dive, you'll realise what kit and equipment you'll actually need. And what you don't want to do is take too much of everything with you so you look like a Christmas tree. Hi, I'm Andy the Northern Diver, and this is the Scuba Christmas tree. So many times I've been on a dive site, certainly on a training area like a quarry, and you see new or inexperienced divers and they've got every bit of kit that the dive show.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
No, there's nothing else you can help with. Just let me carry on with my video, that'd be great. Yeah, so many a time I've been out on a dive site and seen new or inexperienced divers and they've got everything they could possibly get from a dive shop that's just a bit of gadgetry, and they think it's great because they spent several £1,000,000 on loads of clips and bits of kit that they have no need for on that dive whatsoever. When you're planning your dive, you need to make sure that you plan the right kit and equipment and you don't look like this. That leads us on to number 3. So the kit and equipment that you do carry, you need to make sure it's actually suitable for the kind of diving you're going to do. So if you were diving 3 or 4 times a week, the kit and equipment that you may carry might be a cheaper variant of something else that's available. It's not going to stand up to 3 or 4 dives a week, 52 weeks a year. So try and look at getting some longevity from this valuable kit that we're buying. Let's be honest, scuba diving's not cheap. So if you buy cheap equipment, it's going to last for quite a short period of time, whereas if you invest a little bit more money, you'll get a lot more longevity from it, thinking that if you buy cheap, you'll be buying twice. Number 4, so whilst planning your dive and you work out what kit configuration you need to be well experienced in certain drills. If you can't hover, then perhaps you need to revisit that skill. Look at your kit and equipment configuration, go and do a buoyancy and trim course, because if you're no good at buoyancy and trim, then you're not going to be able to take your mask off in sort of mid-water where it's coloured and you've no visual references other than your dive computer. You're not be able to take your eyes off that, so you'll be looking at that all the time, trying to don and doff this mask, and then how hard is it going to be then when you put your DSMB up? It's even harder. So you need to specifically get in touch your buoyancy and trim, get that sorted, and then practice all the other skills, and then they'll all fall in line with you planning a dive. Use your kit, for instance, a mask clear, putting up a delayed surface marker buoy. There are a couple of skills that people are either frightened of doing because the buoyancy and trim's shocking, or because it's cold, or because they just can't be arsed. If you don't take your mask off, anymore since you've been training, get it off. Get it off on every dive, fully take it off, and then put it back on. That way, if you're well practiced in it, when it actually gets kicked off, if you carry a spur, you can get that on and find your mask that's just been kicked off. And you're not too sort of unaware or unfamiliar of taking it off and putting it back on, that it's too daunting for you, that you lose all control while you're under the water. If you're trained in the use of a DSMB, get it out. How hard is it to put a DSMB up and stay pretty much in the position in the water that you were in before? It's solid, but it gets easier the more you practice it. So practice it in the pool. Don't be frightened of going on pool sessions with your dive club. Keep going and keep practicing in 2 or 3 meters of water until you're absolutely nailed it. Then go in the shallows within your local dive quarry and keep practicing it in there, and then move to deeper and deeper waters, and be quite happy to put it up in 20 meters of water whilst hovering. When you're on a training dive, get it out, send it up, be used to using it. And number 5, look at your kit and equipment and try and streamline it, simplify it. So if you've got a need to take 3 torches in, can you put them in pockets, whether it be in your dry suit or it be in your BCD or on the straps of your wing, so they're accessible at all times and very easily, so they're not dangling off your kit and then having an impact on the environment that you're diving within. So if you're diving on a dive site that's full of seagrass, full of seahorses, and your torches or DSMB reels or whatever are dangling 2 foot below you, they're just going to drag through all that, perhaps through the sediment that's below the seagrass, and kick up all the viz, probably kill all the habitat, we'll have no seahorses left, and by the end of the week, all the world's dead because you've killed the environment that you've been diving on. Hope it's been of some use to you, this video, and it gives you enough insight into how you plan your dive, what kit you take on your dive, what kit you buy to use on those dives, how you store it, and how well practiced you are with it. And in turn out, that gives you a much better dives and encourages you to keep diving forever. So thanks for watching. Hope these tips have been of some use to you to make you the coolest diver on the dive site. If you've got any tips you could add, put them in the comments box at the bottom and I'll get straight back to you with a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
See you on Insta.